Hey guys, welcome back to MMA Library. Today in MMA and UFC news. In a recent interview, Anderson Silva spoke about his defeat to Jake Paul this past weekend. Here's the clip.
It seemed as if, from watching the fight, for some of us anyway, that you were outboxing him. Did you feel like the scorecards were favoring you as you went into that final round, honestly?
Wow, I failed in the strategy, in the last round, the Jay take the good punch, and my base is not correct, that's my coach say, my base is not correct, and that's I take the punch. But I don't feel knockout, I don't feel power, but I'm not in good balance, and that's I take the punch. Of course, I have a more experience, and I doing this a lot, and this is happening with me again, one more time, The last time it happened to me when I fight with, I forgot the name, the guy in UFC. No, yeah, Ryan Hall, yeah, Ryan. I fell 2 times in that situation, and that time I just talked to my coach. I don't believe it because I training hard for don't do the same stupid position, But I'm human. I'm superhero, but sometimes my half human fail. Yeah.
Jorge Masvidal says Diaz made the right decision to leave the UFC. That's good for him to leave the big leagues before he gets serious brain damage. I think the guy's a borderline vegetable. His interviews, his spunkness, his wittiness, and sharpness are totally gone. You have to wait for him. The pauses have gotten longer. You used to ask him a question, it used to be like a 2-second pause, now it's like a 30-second pause. It's good for him, man. He shouldn't be in the big leagues. He's going to get hurt, man. Take that old dude somewhere else. Plus, I almost ended him until the referee saved him. I don't really like him too much. In a recent interview with Israel Adesanya, Jake Paul discusses getting banned from UFC events. Here's the clip.
You're fighting MSG as well?
I'm banned. Yeah, but I'm banned from UFC events. I can't play.
Why? What'd you do? What'd you do?
Dana banned me.
Didn't do anything.
Dana banned me after they all were yelling Jake Paul in the stadium, and then I tried to go to a different fight, and all of our tickets were declined, banned, and then like his assistant was like, "Get the f*** out of here, get the f*** out of here," and like escorted me out of the event.
At the event,
and then Dana White's son, apparently, I didn't know who it was at the time. He's like, "I hate you." He was like drunk off of some like wearing some suit, and he was like, "F*** you," and he was using like racial slurs against me. And yeah, that was the last UFC event. So I forgot I can't come.
Chael Sonnen gives his opinion on who may be able to beat Islam Makhachev.
Who can beat Islam? Whatever answer you have, the answer had better be Volkanovski, or you're going to say, I don't think anybody can beat Islam, but Volkanovski can do the closest. And the only reason I say it had better, I don't mean that to scold you. I'm saying as a whole, that should be our answer because that's who's going to be next. That's what number one contender is supposed to mean. Number one contender is a very coveted spot that is supposed to be representative. A guy who has clearly shown he can beat the field. He can beat all the rest of the boys. There's just one question left. Can he beat the guy? I think Islam looks close to perfect. His style's a little bit dull. For me, that's a compliment. It is the basics that wins championship. If we had somebody and they fought all night with Islam and stopped Islam from getting on top, could we agree that that would be a victory to some degree? Because I don't think that Islam can go take Michael Chandler down. That's my belief. I believe that Michael Chandler could stop the takedown. Moreover, if Chandler slips and goes down, I believe that Chandler can get back up with his feet, turn and face him, and start back in neutral. I believe that. I could be wrong, but that's why we tune in.
Cody Garbrandt and TJ Dillashaw recently had a back and forth. It started with Dillashaw saying he would beat Cody even with the shoulder injury he had against Aljamain Sterling. In a recent interview, Dillashaw said, "I fought like this before. I knocked out Cody Garbrandt twice with 2 blown out shoulders. Before that fight, I tore my left shoulder on the Ultimate Fighter doing the coach's challenge. We were playing tetherball on the balance beam, and I fell off and tried to catch myself and hurt my shoulder. In that fight camp, I dislocated my shoulder a good 10 to 15 times. It hurt and affected my grappling, but what was I going to do, not take the fight? I wanted to get my title back. Kind of the same situation I'm in now, so this isn't new. I fought in this situation before, I needed surgery, but it was something I wasn't willing to do yet. I'd think about that when I got my belt back. I'm weighing up my options, who am I fighting, what's going on? I'm fighting a guy in Aljamain Sterling that I don't think is the best bantamweight in the division. I don't think he's very dangerous. I fully believe I'm going to go out there and get this win. I just fought Corey Sandhagen, a guy I think is very dangerous, on one leg and one eye. I knocked out Garbrandt twice with my shoulders messed up, and I feel like he's a more dangerous fight too. I was pretty mad at the situation personally, but I can't guarantee you there's a lot of guys waiting in line to take that shot as well. So it wasn't like I apologized because I did it on purpose, I apologized for the situation. Aljamain is not the best guy in the weight class, and I feel like many guys know that. It was a very awesome opportunity. I feel like I matched up with him very well. It was a very winnable fight for me. I feel like there are harder fights out there for me to get the belt back, so it was an opportunity I wasn't going to miss out on. Cody Garbrandt fired right back with, "This dude is a bum." 10 days before our first fight, the UFC flew me to Las Vegas to get epidural shots to my back because I couldn't even walk. I didn't make excuses or cry about it after I lost to this cheater. Me versus TJ, book that. EPO can't save you anymore. In a recent interview, Robert Whittaker had this to say about Paulo Costa's secret juice.
Secret juice.
Have you seen much about this?
I've seen it. I have seen it. It's the only thing that I can think of is like, get a better label, bro. it's like you just scribbled on some paper and sticky taped to the bottle. It's like his secret juice production facility is hard budget. They're making like top of the range gear, but they're like labels. No, we have
because all of the budget goes on the juice itself. There's just nothing left for the labels.
Can't get a label in there.
I'm picturing some Avengers level like villain in a high-tech lab facility where people are teleporting and they're just making this. But then it's like, oh, how do we label it? What do we know? Oh, we'll just put this on. It'll be fine. Here
like,
you go, Paul. You got a pen? Yeah, I got a pen.
Anybody
Out of Space Jam, isn't it? Yeah.
Following his victory over Calvin Kattar, Arnold Allen spoke about potentially moving up because the featherweight division has nothing for him. Here's the clip.
No. Like, it was, he's a tough guy, a very dangerous fighter, and he's had a lot of fights, so there's a lot of fights to watch, and so you know what he does, and everything I thought he was going to do, he did.
Afterwards, you admitted you were kind of disappointed because how can you call for a title shot? I mean, was that the plan? I know you're not always the most outspoken guy, but did you want to tell Volkanovski, hey, let's do this after tonight?
Yeah, it was because obviously there was the injury with Yair and Brian. And then, obviously, Calvin, Emmett, it was like a real close decision. I wanted the performance to stand out so I could actually ask, look, this deserves it, more than that and that. But now I'm in the same boat, so we might as well just all hang out together and talk about it.
It's kind of wild, right? Like, now it justifies, I guess, him going up to 155. There's no argument.
Maybe I'll go up to 155 as well. This division sucks.
On a recent episode of the Believe You Me podcast, Michael Bisping was joined by Nickal, and they spoke about why Nickal had to pull out of his UFC debut scheduled for UFC 282.
What is the injury, if you don't mind me asking?
No, all good. So basically, I was a little actually banged up going into my last fight. I injured my collarbone a little bit and kind of my shoulder and stuff. So, I knew that for the contenders fight, there's obviously a timeline with that, and you got to compete. So, I was doing what I could to be ready to go, and obviously performed well. And I wanted to get a quick turnaround, but I was pretty sad because unfortunately it just hasn't gotten better as quickly as I would have liked it to. And I'm still not at 100%, and I didn't really want to start a training camp injured and count on being healthy by the time the fight came and rehab it and stuff. So I decided the best thing for me was to push it back, and I was super upset about that because my favorite thing in the world to do is go out there and compete in front of the bright lights, and I was really looking forward to being on that amazing card that they're putting together for 282. But for me, the next one that they had available was 285 in March, so we just had to push it back till then.
Guys, thanks so much for checking out the video. If you like the content we do here on this channel, don't forget to like and subscribe to MMA Library for all the latest MMA and UFC news. We'll see you in the next video.